What's up, Buck fans? Happy Wednesday. You already know what it is. It is the Bucks Aftermath on 102.9 The Game, Broad Street South Radio. I appreciate y'all chilling with us before the big holiday in the States. But look here, y'all, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Two big topics. One is going to be from the past. What Bucks player would you want on this current roster to make us a Super Bowl winning team? And then the big one is, which coach that won us a Super Bowl had a bigger impact on this Bucks franchise? And we'll get down to that. So let's get ready for the damn show, y'all. Cheers. What's up, Buck fans? Again, fire them damn cannons because we're going to be firing them all week. If you don't know, Slick, it's 4th of July weekend coming up for the Bucks and the Americans for our independence. I love it. I think it's fun. It's cool. We get the day off. But here again, it's just all about alcohol and barbecue. So it should be called Happy Alcohol Barbecue Liquor Day. And I told Slick already offline that if, and Americans, you can contest to this, if you don't see your cooker, if he's not professional, if you don't see your average Joe cooker with a beer or alcohol in his hand while he's cooking, stay the hell away from it. The food will be disgusting because the liquor is what the alcohol, it gives you extra seasoning. The sauce is where it's at. That's where it is. And again, for me, I'm just telling y'all right now, if I don't see something in your hand that's alcohol beverage, I'm going to look at you sideways, or I will say, I ate before I got here, so I'm full. I'll stick to the alcohol. But again, guys, thank you again for tuning in. You could be anywhere right now, but not really. This is the place you want to be. If you want to know football, you want to know Bucks football talk, AJ, turn up right here. And we got Coach Slick, aka the British guy who is fly. And you need to check out his record with his football. He's doing a stellar job, guys. He's on his Todd Bowles mode right now. Before we even get to the Bucks, let's just, Slick, talk about your team and the status and what's going on and what else y'all got cooking.
Okay, so we went into a game against the team that's top of the division. They beat us 4 points in the last game we played against them. We played them 3 times this year because one of the teams dropped out. They liquidized, and so we had to play 2 of the other teams twice, an extra time. So we had them 3 times. So they started off the drive. They scored on the first possession, and we're thinking, is this deja vu? Are we going in for this? We made our adjustments, put the adjustments in, and then we finished the half 7-3. So we're starting to claw back into it, but not really enough. We haven't really threatened them. And then we finally finished the game 17-7, pull out the stops, and we are now the big boys on campus. We are the number 1 seed for the playoffs. And then just to show you how wild it got in the MVP party, we'll start with this one.
Oh shit! Yeah, I saw that flowing.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay, see, look, guys, this is another reason why you need to check out. Give Coach Slick an opportunity on my YouTube channel. I told you his accolades speak for itself, and this is another opportunity for the Bucks organization. I'm talking to you, Jason Light. I'm talking to you, the Glazers. Let's give this coach a shot here. He could be a great asset to Todd Bowles. Not to say that Todd Bowles isn't doing a good job, but you can never have enough. Look at what Todd Bowles and the Arians do for the coaching staff. Let's get him over here. Besides, let's bring him to the States Florida and Tampa is a beautiful place to be, Slick. I'm
Yes,
telling you.
sir.
Nice, wonderful weather. You got to go to a place called Charlie's. It's really good. Charlie's Steakhouse. They got wine. It's a bar there. The steak is fantastic. It is great. Charlie's is where you want to go. And again, you always I want to take you to all the little nice hole in the wall spots. So
Oh
that
yeah.
means you're going to spend a lot of time in East and West Tampa. So we're going to be good. And besides, I will be seeing this, brother, October
Yes, sir.
27th when we play the Falcons, and hopefully we deep fry the damn Falcons. Look, I told you already, I want to do to them what they did to us on Thursday years ago in 2014. I'll never forget that. That was the worst game I had, like most embarrassing game I had as a Buck. But either way,
Mhm.
it's in the past now. But right now, the Bucs. We are literally what, a few weeks away from preseason. Yaya out here trying to show off his shit. Yaya, man, make these bad boys look like damn
Yeah.
little water guns compared to his shit. I was like, damn, I
Those
got
triceps, man. He had
I
some
was
horseshoes on him.
damn. It's like, come on, man. Like, goodness gracious. Like, damn. And I wanted to bring this up. Did you look at Coach Slick's when did you do what he said about their team MVP, offensive MVP, defensive MVP, special teams MVP, comeback player, and rookie MVP for the Bucs?
Sorry.
That's what. So we're gonna talk about that. I want to
Oh,
ask
right,
you
yeah.
right now. Who do you think, if you had to give a hypothesis, who is the Bucs team MVP? Go.
Team MVP will be Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. There it is. Okay. And what kind of season do you expect from him? Yardage and touchdown.
I think Mike Evans will go for 14 touchdowns, and I think he'll go for about 1,400 yards.
Ooh, nice.
I think he has a few smokes. I think he smokes a few teams with some big yardage. Yeah, I think this is his. I think he needs to have one of those years where he is the number one guy, because I think that makes him irrefutable. Because that's that one argument that all football fans turn around and say when they rag on Mike Evans, it's like he's never been the number one dude. He's never been the top three dude. He needs to have that game, and he needs to have it sooner rather than later. He has it now in what you could call the twilight of his career. It really shines on him. Also, another 1,000-yard season. Add it to the list because it'll be 11 now. It just adds more and more accolades to what he has. First team All Pro, all of those accolades, along with the ring. Not many people on that list, that these current list guys, they have rings. There's only two of them, three of them if you want to make the argument, but there's only two of them, in my opinion, that are really knocking on the door, and that's Tyreek Hill and Mike Evans. They're the only two guys. Now, some people will turn around to me and say Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp needs to do more. He hasn't done anything for years. He's had an amazing Super Bowl year, and he had a really good, I think it was like his second year or something like that. He had a really good year. Other than that, it's been wall-to-wall injuries. This guy can't stay healthy, so best ability is availabilities.
Amen to that. Amen to that. I love it. All right. Who is your offensive MVP?
This is where I could be a little bit backwards on this. So I'm going to go with Baker Mayfield.
Nothing wrong with that, Baker Mayfield. Okay.
Now, because you usually take the quarterback would probably normally be the team, but I'm just saying Mike Evans will have that big of a year that it will eclipse what the Baker Mayfield will have a very good season for a quarterback, but it won't be the best season by a quarterback. It will be like in the top 10. He'll be in that conversation of a top 10 quarterback.
I like it.
Mike Evans will be in my opinion, should end the season. It goes my way, the way I want it to go. Mike Evans ends the season as a top one, the best wide receiver in football.
My man.
Best
okay. Stats. I love it. All right, give me your defensive MVP.
I've got a feeling that Lavonte David will come out and reshine his 2013 best. 2012, maybe his 2012 best. I think that was when he was really in his stride. And I think he will retire.
Let's just hope he retires.
I think so the prediction hasn't come in yet. But
with the ring, I will be like, this will be something that him retiring with a ring is what I wanted for Rondé. But that's another story for another time, just because of their great accolades. But I love that. Lavonte, that's a good one. All right. What about your special teams?
Um, I'm trying to remember the punter's name. No, I'll go with the kicker, but I can't remember either the punter or the
You
kicker
mean
name.
McCaughlin?
There's a new guy on campus now that they're who's competing with him, right?
Yes.
But McCaughlin's the guy, so to speak, right now. I think it'll be him because he'll just play so well.
Agreed.
Like, it's what the Buccaneers need, that stability at kicker, and it's been something not in recent years, but I'd say since 2019. Before that it was a bugaboo. We could never seem to get it right.
Yeah. Okay. What about your comeback player for the Bucs?
I don't think who needs a comeback. I don't think anyone's really played that bad that you could say it was a comeback. I'm just trying to think if there's any. I don't remember there being any big injuries in the team off the top of my head. Comeback player. Let's go with. I'm going to go defense. Ryan McCullum. Not a great player. Didn't get the most reps. This will be the year where he solidifies himself as he should solidify himself as the starter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I like it. I like that. That's a good one. I like that. Hell, if anything, more like a redemption player. Shit, because that Amon-Ra St. Brown play was god awful. We all remember that, and we all saw it. As soon as he got in and that play went off, I think us all Buck fans, Slick, I just said that's a touchdown. No, I'm like, he's way off of him. I like that. That's a good one. All right. Final one. Who is the rookie MVP?
See, I want to go and say our first round pick, Graham Barton, but he's probably linemen don't get the props. It doesn't matter how good he plays.
Right.
It's going to be very difficult. It's very difficult. I mean, for me, I graded an offensive lineman because I'd say since Big Red has left a void, that void has been felt by all fans watching. Okay, I'm going to go with Graham Barton. Graham Barton will be the rookie of the year.
Oh my God. I mean, I love that. If he can do that, and again, in a way, if he's average, he could get that. Imagine just being average on this team, and and the offense can click the way that we need them to. Yeah, being average. What do I always say, Slick? A lot of times when you have a solid team, you can be average. Average is okay because that means you're doing your job. And if you do fall,
and then you just need to turn it up when you need to turn it up.
Yep. Average, guys, don't think average in the NFL. Average in the NFL can give you at least 6 to 8 years minimum. 6 to 8 years if you do your job, depending on your position. That's being average is not a bad thing in the NFL. There's a lot of guys who wish they could have
average pass rusher is about 6. I'd say 6 sacks, maybe 5 sacks.
Yep.
Average.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll keep you employed for a while.
Exactly. And if your average running back, let's say they get between 700 to 900, that's good. That means you're always on the cusp of doing something. Trust and believe.
You'll be a number 2 guy, even if you can be a number 2 guy for the rest of your life. It's still,
and you're still getting checks. So
still getting checks.
I like that. That was a hell of a guys, Coach League. That's a good one. Those were excellent ones.
What did you got?
Team MVP Baker Mayfield. This is a year, and the reason why I say this, I think this year Canales is going to without Canales, Baker's going to be even more focused because it's something about this college OC. I fucking love. This is why I love college OCs. They have a Bruce Arians mentality where they risk things and they'll do shit out of the ordinary that throws teams off and that can give your team confidence. I see Baker throwing for no less than 4,400 yards. He's going to eclipse the 30 touchdown mark. I see him getting 31 touchdowns. So, but I do see him throwing between 9 and 12 picks because he's going to get greedy sometimes. So I do see that. I got to be honest. If he gets over 30 touchdowns, he'll have between 9 to 12 interceptions. Now, for my offensive,
I think we'll take that. The ratio is what 3 to 1.
Yes. So I don't mind that. But I do, for whatever reason, I see him because I think now with Baker, he's actually the way that the media wanted him to be with the Browns. He has that in Tampa. He has a competent coach. He has a competent team. He has guys that on the wide receivers that are not selfish.
He's got guys who aren't fucking squabbling.
Exactly. He don't have dads. He doesn't have teammates' dads who are gonna fucking tweet him and stuff and talk about him. And this, meanwhile, this guy was out here being in jacuzzis underneath the water with other guys. Now, if that's your float, that's your boat. I don't care, but whatever it is, but still. Anywho, offensive MVP, I'm going with Mike Evans. With you, I'd say if he can get 14, that'll make my fucking day. But I see between 12 and 13. But here's where I think he's going to be dangerous this season. Touchdown ratios. I have a feeling this coordinator is going to use him so much more in the red zone the way Brady did in 2020. So I see Evans having between 17 and 19 touchdowns. 17, because remember, I see them going to him more, and Baker's and him have that repertoire where it's like, okay, I feel like they see it. If they see one-on-ones, why not go to him? That isn't that one of the things that pissed us off when the other guy was our coordinator. Evans is one-on-one, and you don't decide to go him. We're like, yeah. So that's why I expect, like I said, between 1,200 to 1,300 yards for Evans, but I see a lot of touchdowns in his future. Special teams, of course, I'm going. No, defensive MVP, Kancey. I think Kancey's going to ball the fuck out. I am putting a lot. I know, Kancey, if you're seeing this, I'm putting a lot of pressure on you. But damn it, I know you can rise to the occasion. So much I've seen Kancey grow up throughout the playoffs. The simple fact that defensively he set a lot of tone in the trenches against the Detroit Lions with that line, that gives me hope. That gives me so much hope. So like we've always talked about Detroit's line. They got a great line. For Kancey to do what he did to disrupt it, that sack that he got, that changed the tone, that gave the Detroit Lions oh shit. Like if we don't stop fucking around, we're gonna be out. So I like him. Now, special teams, I am going with McLaughlin because I see consistency. So that's one thing that we have, consistency. Now, comeback player, I know you might disagree, but I need Vita Vea to step it up. What I mean by comeback, I want Vita to be that force that we saw during 2020. You know why I say that, Slick? When he came back in the playoffs, it set the entire tone. Teams were not ready for that. They were like, damn it, he's back. So now, because he came back, Sue was able to feast. Shaq Barrett.
And not just that, you got to think into account that they had nowhere near as much tape on him, especially current tape.
Exactly. And it's like, damn it. So if Vita, I need Vita, and Vita has lost a lot of weight. So, man, what if him and Kancey become like, we know Vita can stop the run, but what if Vita becomes that guy where it's like, nah, I can get the quarterback too.
For a nose tackle, he gets to the quarterback very well. To be
exactly,
fair.
But can you imagine?
That's what I think he is probably going to go down if he keeps the way continues to what he's doing. I think he'll go down as one of the most underrated defensive tackles of all time.
Yeah,
because
I agree. He'll be with
because pass rushing nose tackles are like they don't really exist. They're not. That's not what they're designed to do. They're designed. I mean, don't get me wrong. The nose tackle in my team is just notched 7 sacks. So,
damn.
But he's just a fucking dude, man. He's just got a Viking mentality and just wants to run through people and hurt people.
I love it. You tell him I said keep doing your thing. Tell him I said that.
Will do.
I love that shit. All right, and then my rookie is Bucky Irvin. I think Bucky Irvin is going to make this run game so much of a threat. It's going to be ridiculous because I think the coordinator, again, he's going to look at, we don't need Rachaad White to always try to run up the gut because that's not his thing anyway. Because sometimes Rachaad White would piss me off when the hole is there and he'll just stop when you should go. But that's all right because we know this. If Baker does this toss, anytime I see Rachaad White catch it and he turns, beautiful things happen. He's always
he is very good.
He's shifty. He's what we wanted Ronald Jones to be.
Yeah, I agree.
But Bucky Irvin is that smash mouth. He could be our new Thunder and Lightning. With that kind of guy that can run between tackles now, and he can do a little pass blocking. I told you on offense, I do a set where both backs are on the outside. And and I'd switch it up. Okay, this play you're blocking, and this play you go out for a pass, or this play you're gonna block, and then you're gonna do an HB draw. I'm going all over the place. That is my thing. I see Bucky Irvin getting between 200 to 400 yards this season, and at least 3 touchdowns rushing. So that's it. That's it for me, guys. That's my hypothesis.
I like it, man. I like it.
And in the next month or two, I will give you the Bucs prediction for the season. But that I won't do that till August, y'all. So again, we can hold our load for that. But let's get into one of the big topics of the night, because this one is going to be interesting. Buck fans and Buck fans, if you want, please comment and put your information, your opinions in there as well, because
they're appreciated, man.
Fans. So Buck fans, we are asking, give us 2 players from the Bucs past that have retired, at least between 5 to 10 years, that you would want on your current roster. One side offensively and one side defensively. 2 players. Slick, I'll let you start. You can go either way, offense or defense.
I'll go defense first, and I'm going to go with the great Hardy Nickerson.
Hardy Nickerson, okay.
I mean, you just think if you had a prime Hardy Nickerson, you ain't worried about who's going to be next to Lavonte David. It's done. It's finished. It's complete.
Yes.
That's one of the perfect backfields, as far as I'm concerned. You could make an argument, instead of having him, you could add maybe a little bit more speed and go down the route of Derrick Brooks, which would be fine, because I do think in this day and age of modern football, he probably would play middle linebacker rather than play the Sam linebacker position or the Will backer position. He's more probably suited to playing middle linebacker now. But yeah, Hardy Nickerson or him I'd be happy with, but I think I've got a special place for Hardy. I think he's a bit like Lavonte David in the sense of, like, he doesn't have all the accolades, but he's a really big part of Tampa Bay culture.
Yes, he is. I 100% agree. I like that. What about offensively?
Offense, I'm going to go with one of my favorite players that I read a lot about and learned a lot about, was Warrick Dunn.
Okay.
I just think, I mean, Allstott's a very good choice. I mean, to be honest, if you think about it, Allstott would probably be the better choice, because you've already got a fast dude who can do everything. And like you said just a minute ago, you don't really want him to bosh up the middle. But this guy,
yes,
yeah, I'll change. I'm gonna go with the train, and I'm gonna ride that train all the way to the paint, and I'm gonna fucking score. I'll go Mike Allstott, because I just think, you put him into this squad, you're going to get those hard yards, those 4th downs, those 3rd downs. Fuck your tough push. We got the fucking train push.
Yes. I love that. Great pick. Look, my first option is Mike Allstott, just because Mike Allstott would feast in this era. And people would say, why would you say that? This is an era where the running back is not being appreciated enough. That's because of the passing game. The passing game is so much advanced now. But here's another thing. Defenses nowadays are more built to stop the pass rather than to stop the run. You will see more pass rushers coming up. However, it's different when you got a hard-nosed running guy like Mike Allstott. And what if your guys aren't designed to stop the run, only the pass? Now that opens the entire offensive arsenal up for the Bucs. Can you imagine this too? The I formation, Allstott as your fullback, and Rashad White or Bucky Irvin in the backfield. Oh my God! And then just throw. And then again, you can do so many things with Allstott. And he's breaking tackles like no one's business. And then again, the play action is going to be ridiculous, because now they're going to be so scared that Allstott is going to come up the gut. So now, if I'm the Bucs, oh shit, oh yeah, play action. We're throwing the Trey Palmer or Mike Evans deep pass, because they're going to be scared. Because when Allstott's in, they're going to have to load the box. Because let's say if they don't load the box, oh, y'all don't want to load the box, we'll just change the play. Allstott run it. Or they want to back up some more. You want to be disrespectful to Allstott? If you're not at least 11 men in the box, that's disrespectful. You better not. If you don't have 11 men in that box for Allstott, he's gonna look at you and say, "Okay, I'm gonna get you for that." I love it. So that's why Allstott would just All-Star would bring so much, not to the running game, just to the running game, the passing game. Now, if we're going to talk about the defensive side right now, I got to get Rondé. Give me Rondé to help this secondary, because not only that, can you imagine the intelligent brains of Rondé and Antoine Winfield on the same fucking field on defense
That
with
would be
us?
pretty.
Oh yeah, and we forget Levante David will be there too. All that knowledge of football on the field, and then you can rotate your corners. You can put Rondé on your number one corner because he can get the job done, and we know he can tackle. Todd Bowles would love to use him in blitzing schemes. He can blitz. You could put him in the nickel every now and then. So if you want to move, put it this way: if Rondé Barber plays against the Detroit Lions, we would have had a field day, because I'm gonna say Brown ass wouldn't have been able to get off the line of scrimmage, and if he catch, Rondé Barber is gonna tackle his ass. So that's why I like Rondé Barber with this team right now. This defense would be number one. And people don't realize that Rondé Barber is one of the reasons why the Bucs were also number one. Yes, your Simeon Rice, your Warren Sapp, Derrick Brooks, but Rondé was a part of that. He was the enforcer. When you think of the nickel position, Rondé Barber is the reason why nickel players are getting paid. Rondé Barber is why the nickel is very essential. If you have a terrible nickel corner, you
can get shredded.
You're going to get shredded, especially with a slant. It's over. So that is why with Rondé on this team, a Rondé Barber would get Zion McCullum right. He'd be like, hey, man, don't worry about that shit. Just do this and do how I do, and we're good to go. Yeah, give me those two guys. All-Star and Rondé fucking Barber. I'm all for this shit. Yes. So, yeah.
Now, have you got any honorable mentions that you think, oh, that would be a great guy, but this was my other guy?
Yeah, and people would look at me crazy. I've talked about this guy already before. Vincent Jackson right now as a receiver on this team would be unfair, because we saw what Evans and Vincent were working on. Can you imagine and we talking about prime Vincent? The first year that Vincent came with the Bucs, people say, oh, he was over the edge. Was he on the end of his prime? Yes, but he still was in his prime because he was cooking for us. He is the reason why I got the jersey, because that was the first time the Bucs finally decided to spend some cash. I'm like, yes. So that's an honorable mention on offense. On defense, if I'm going to give an honorable mention, I'm going to go with, and I know people will say, well, we already got thumpers, but you can't have more than enough. Give me Tanar Jackson. I look, JC, Tanar Jackson is what we have in Antoine Winfield. So say what you want to say, JC. I will defend that. I stand on that shit because I know what talent is and greatness. So those are my honorable mentions. How about you, Slick?
So for me, I'm going to bring a real blast from the past. I'm going to go Leroy Salmon off the edge.
Absolutely.
Fly, baby, fly. And I think it's over with Kansi, Vita Vea, and him up front. You've just got no answer, in my opinion. There is no answer.
No, there wouldn't be. It wouldn't be fair, to be quite honest.
You've got a guy who's a gentle giant that will absolutely smash you while you're on the football field. As for offense, I mean, Vincent Jackson is a great choice. I like him. I'm just trying to think. When you're looking at what we got, what do we need? What is it that the Buccaneers need? I mean, I feel like we've probably got the best quarterback that's in our past, other than Tom Brady. And me and you both said that we wouldn't pick players.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Too recent. So
that's too easy, guys. Too easy. Because if we were going to go by that, hell, see now you got me cooking now. Shit. Okay, give me your starting defense that you would pick from the 2020 Super Bowl team, and the 2002 team.
Give you the defense.
Yes. And you can run whatever defensive scheme you want.
I'll stick with bowl scheme because just of how multiple it was. They probably would run a Tampa 2 within it, though, because you can run Tampa 2 out of anything, really. I probably would go Vita Vea, Warren Sapp, Simeon Rice. Shaq was in his prime, though. This is where it's starting to get hard because I'm like, I could put Shaq in, and he was in his prime. And I remember they run a 3-4. So I'll go with those guys, and then my outside linebackers, my actual outside linebackers will be JPP and Shaq Barrett, Levante David, and Derek Brooks. I will go Antoine Winfield with John Lynch. I'll go Rondé Barber and probably Colton Davis at the time. I think that's everyone covered.
Shit, that's a scary defense. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm almost there with you, but the difference is I'm running a 4-3 just because I like it. I'm
thinking from a pure pass rushing creativity point of view, you've got Vita Vea, you got Warren Sapp, and this is just the forefront. That's the first 3 guys. Then you've still got the other 2 guys I've got going on. That's the only reason I'm thinking it.
No, I feel you. I just look at my front 4: Sapp, Vita, Selman, and Rice. You're not getting you have to double.
So I thought we were doing Super Bowl teams.
Oh shit, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I can't do that. Forgive me. You're right on that one.
That being said, he'd walk into any squad, right?
Yes, he'd walk into any squad. So that's the ultimate team. But yes, okay.
So who's going to be your end on the other side?
Oh, my end on the other side. Fuck! I was gonna say somebody else, but he won a Super Bowl with somebody else. Fuck you, Shiano, for that. I was gonna say Michael Bennett. I can't do that. Michael Bennett. Fuck. Michael Bennett is that homie, man. But no, if I have,
I'd probably go JPP if I were you, because JPP has actually played end. He plays back around end, whereas I think Shaq has only ever played backer.
Yeah, and people forget JPP did get us 10 sacks running a 4-3. So he was the first guy since Simeon Rice, and that was a long ass time to get 10 sacks. JPP was that guy. Now, if I want to go to if I'm going to go to like safety wise, yeah, I'm going to go with John Lynch and Antoine Winfield, of course. Now my corners, Rondé and Aqib Talib. Aqib Talib was a bad motherfucker.
Talib wasn't on the Super Bowl team, right?
Shit. I'm breaking your own rules. Aiden, you're breaking your own rules. Forget that. Okay.
That's why I had to go with Colton Davis, because Colton Davis was the better of the 2 at the time on the 20s.
Rondé and Colton Davis. Let me follow my own rules, AJ. Turn up. Shit. I'm out here thinking about the whole Buccaneers team. So, yeah, you're right. Now, offensively, if I had to do it, of course,
you're going to keep the entire 2020 squad, but who are you changing? Because there's going to be someone on that 20.
No. I'm switching. Look, and people will say that's crazy, but damn it, I'll do it. I'm switching Leonard Fournette with Mike Allstott. Don't need Allstott is Leonard Fournette, but better. I would give Allstott in there.
I like it.
So, because Allstott would have killed in that offense with fucking Gronk blocking for him. Shit. And then if we're gonna switch, look, and I would do this, and I know people would be like, that's crazy, but I don't give a fuck because we would have been good and Brady would have found a way. I'm switching Antonio Brown with Joey Galloway. I said what I said. Because people forget Joey Galloway was a dog. His first few years with the Bucs, again, Antonio Brown, great, but he was a luxury. Joey Galloway would be like a luxury, but with the speed and determination, and we wouldn't have to see Joey Galloway walk off when shit gets tough, throwing stuff in the air and waving his hands like a madman. Joey Galloway was that guy. And then, And then if I want to be petty, like not petty, but if I had to switch anybody on the line, give me Devin Joseph over our guy on the line, because Devin Joseph was a dog. Davin Joseph was probably our best right guard that we've ever had. Now, if I go to right tackle, shit. No. Left tackle? Nope. He wasn't on the Super Bowl team. Shit. So yeah, that's my squad. So yeah, basically most of 2020 would be my offense, but just switch Allstott with Fournette, and then switch AB with Joey Galloway.
So
Hell,
here's one for you. We're talking the two Super Bowl squads.
yeah,
Was Brian Kelly better than Carlton Davis?
yes,
So we'll keep the corners as they are.
yes,
We
yes,
will keep the corners with the old school corners.
yes. Oh no, Brian Kelly
So
was
I didn't watch a lot of Brian Kelly.
no Brian Kelly. I'm glad you mentioned that. Brian Kelly is basically what Aqib Talib was, but the difference is Brian Kelly didn't get the respect because Rondé Barber was just overshadowing him just because of what Rondé could do. Brian Kelly couldn't blitz like Rondé. He didn't tackle like Rondé. Like Rondé was just special as we saw.
Mm-hmm.
But people forget Brian Kelly on the Super Bowl team had at least 8 interceptions. He was picking people off like crazy. Shit, if anything, give me Dwight Smith in there too. I'll have Dwight Smith replace Carlton, because here's the thing. You know what? Dwight Smith can actually catch. I like Carlton, but we already said this many a time, Buck fans. If Carlton Davis had hands, he'd be an elite corner.
He would be an elite corner. If he didn't have hands of bricks.
No, he got you. There's a movie called The Little Giants. He got hot hands handing catches. Like that shit is like frying pans. It's just, and that's what's gonna happen in Detroit. That would be poetic for us if we play them, and let's say if Baker like accidentally almost throws a pick, but Carlton drops the ball, and that'll be the reason we win.
And then the next plays a touchdown.
Exactly. I'd be like, see,
that would be like it's a fucking. Here's the fucking. It's third down, end of the game. Buccaneers need a touchdown to score to win the game. Throw the ball into the end zone, and it bounces off Carlton Davis's hands. The next play, it goes over his head, and it's caught for a touchdown on 4th down to win the game. That is the ultimate salt rubbed in the wounds.
And you know what I would say? Carlton Davis still plays for the Bucs because he just won it.
Now, we don't want anyone to do bad, but we want them to do bad when they play against us.
Fuck yeah. I want them to do real bad. Hell, too many Bucs players have gone and become legends afterwards. Aqib Talib, LeGarrette Blount, perfect examples, and Michael Bennett. Those 3 right there, I go, we owe him an apology. If I see him, we owe you an apology. Now, Aqib Talib, he did have off-field moments, but motherfuckers still play. That's also due to coaching. When you have the right coach, because Aqib Talib was damn near a saint when he was with Belichick, because he ain't gonna fuck that up.
He ain't gonna fuck that up. Good chance of a ring, you ain't fucking that shit.
You're not fucking that up. So yes, that 2020 offense, like I said, if I just switched it with Allstott and Joey Galloway, we're in there. Now I know a lot of people will be like, how dare you do something like that with AB? I love AB, but as a football player,
nobody really loves AB.
I love his work ethic and his skills because he was tearing shit up throughout the league. However, when this right here, it's an Odell situation. Those kind of guys, if all I got to do is say one thing and it sets you off, your skills will go to shit because at that point you don't have the mental discipline. That's why we love Evans. People can say what they want about Evans for the most part. He's going to go, okay, I might have dropped this pass, but I'm going to make up for it. He did it in Detroit. One of his first passes was the interception because C.J. Gardner's punk ass was acting like he actually jumped a route, but it's like, no, Evans just dropped it. But look at what Evans did. He was catching shit left and right. So good, he threw a football at one of the fans in the stand. I ain't not mind that. It was a Detroit person, so they deserved it. Yeah. But let's get to the main event of the topic tonight because Buck fans, this is something that I know that's going to divide the fan base.
Yeah.
And I love it because that means give me y'all ideas. Again, give me your opinions and your statement. Back them shits up with facts. Now, this one right here, between these two wonderful Super Bowl winning coaches, which one had the bigger impact on this franchise? Chucky or risk it, no biscuit. And if you don't know what that means, Chucky Child's play John Gruden, or no risk it biscuit Bruce Arians. One of them was, "Are you out of your skull?" And the other one is, "Yes, ain't going nowhere." So I want to start it off with Slick, because as a coach, we want to hear from expertise coach right here. Coach Slick, give us your analysis, please.
I'm going to go with what I think is the right pick. And an argument can be made either way. We both know this. I'm going to go with Bruce Arians. I'm going to go with Bruce Arians because he came to this team when it wasn't in the best shape, and we still were competitive despite a Jameis Winston throwing fucking 30 for 30. We were still competitive. We only had to win one game, and if it weren't for fucking pick sixes to end fucking games. I mean, he started games with a pick six and finished games with a pick six. Giving the team 14 fucking points, and you still had a chance to fucking win it, means he got that defense. He employed the right people to do the job, and he employed them. He weren't people. He did not touch that fucking defense. He came to a team that was solid and sold, ready to fucking rock and roll. Tweak the offense to get it to how he would like it, for sure. I completely agree with that. I do believe that he tweaked a few things and got a few things right. But for the most part, that defense, he just went, Pippin, do your fucking thing. You do your thing. Don't let me need to knock on your door about the defense giving up fucking points. And that's it. That's all that had to happen. That was all that needed to happen. Whereas you look at what the work that was put in by Coach Arians, he had to go and get his old coaches back. These are guys that he's worked with for years and years, and he likes working with. He brought them in, treat them like family. They all came to him at the same time, and he built this team up. Yeah, the thing that he has that goes against him is Tom Brady. Yeah, when you're given a Super Bowl caliber quarterback, you're expected to win with it. And he did exactly that. However, we also had one of the greatest seasons in scoring the year after, where we were just an offensive juggernaut, where we've never been that kind of team. And we still played hard-nosed football, but we were just really, really aggressive in the passing game, which was never our bread and butter. We were a kind of a rugged run team that could stop you with its defense. It was kind of like how we were built for probably the best part of 3 decades. He changed the narrative of how Buccaneer football was played for a while, right? And it's still kind of played that day. He modernized our game. We were still playing it, and after shit coach after shit coach after shit coach, this team was handed to a lot of shit coaches, right? Who couldn't coach at the NFL level. They're probably fine in their college years or whatever they've done, or as coordinators, but as head coaches for this Tampa Bay Buccaneer football team, they were poor. He came along and flipped it. He knew that we had the talent, put the coaches in, added some pieces. They married the GM with the coach, and it just worked in harmony. When you look at how the Buccaneers portrayed themselves, they were just really, really slick in what they did.
Bravo. Wonderful words from Coach Slick. I like it. Yes. So while he says that, I'm in agreement, but I'm going to start on why he was so much better than Gruden. Let's be real, guys, Buck fans, because we've talked about this for years. Because here's the thing: in the States, Slick, we've had these little issues, and yes, I'm putting it out there. Sometimes race does come into it, because the thing is, there's a difference between building and inheriting. You said it already. Arians had certain pieces, but he had to mold the pieces, and he changed the mentality and attitude.
Look at the draft pick he did as well. Yeah. That 2019 draft and the 2020 draft, every draft that he's been a part of, and since, he's handed the reins to a different guy, and it hasn't got worse. It hasn't got progressively worse.
It hasn't gotten worse, and that's exactly what it is. Arians, as you said, do your job, I'm going to do mine. But more than that, he gave this team that we had, he gave us something that we haven't had even since the Gruden era, which is ironic, but in a better way, attitude.
Fire.
He gave us the fire to say, fuck these guys. We can do this. as you said, under the other coaches, your Raheem, no disrespect, but Shianos, the Dirk, it was, we don't know. We were literally a car driving, but with no direction. No direction. I remember that's when I called the Bucs the lost years because we didn't have a GPS to tell us to go anywhere. It was like just get in the fucking car. We didn't have a team to be nasty. We imploded. They're like one of the biggest. I tell somebody, if you want to know the Bucs in a nutshell, go watch the game in London when we played the Bears, and Matt Forte does a juke and Brian Price runs over our safety. That was the Bucs in a nutshell. A fucking blunder, a clusterfuck. Now let's get back to Gruden. Gruden inherited a legendary defense. People, a lot of Buck fans, we're going to go back down the history line. This is the history major talking to you right here. The Bucs defense was always legit thanks to Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy laid the foundation. Tony Dungy had your Hardy Nickersons coming in. Of course, he helped elevate Derek Brooks, but also brought in so many defensive players where people forget Dungy had this team. The 99 Bucs defense, Slick, is damn near just as good as the 2002. They were special in their way. That 99 defense kept the greatest show on turf to 11 fucking points. Warren Sapp was your defensive player of the year. Stephen White, RIP, and much love to your family, was out there doing their thing. We had a squad. But again, one thing that Gruden only did was he made them play better or made them take their skills to another level. It's the simple fact, though, you can see right afterwards, the culture and mentality was not consistent. Warren Sapp leaves. John Lynch leaves. You're talking about two of the pillars, of their organization. They leave. That's not cool. And then
here's one for you, brother.
Yeah.
Between the defensive starters in 2001 and 2002, what do you think was different?
And for the Bucs?
Yeah. There is a difference. There's just one.
I would just maybe on the offensive side. Offensively.
Defensively, on 2022, you had a left line, listed as a left linebacker.
Yeah.
Alshimon Singleton. And then the year before that is a different guy. Give me a second for it to come up. And it was... I'm still in 2002.
Yeah, I know Sheldon Quarles was there. He was with us for a while. We had a squad. It's just when Gruden got there, the offense is what changed.
Jamie Duncan. That's the only difference. Those two guys. Other than that, Alshimon Singleton and Jamie Duncan are the only differences. The rest are exactly the fucking same.
Exactly the same, and that's what happened. Again, he tweaked and then on the offense, he still had cornerstone players that Dungy recruited. Keyshawn Johnson, Mike Allstott. So those were your household guys right there. Now, and again, I think Gruden is the kind of coach, he can take you to the top, but the team has to be complete. Because we saw what Gruden did.
We saw what he did when he went to the Raiders again. He hadn't built nothing. He's never been known as the builder. He's the guy, if you give him what he wants, he can get a job done. But you need to have good, deep pockets, and you need to have a healthy salary cap.
Exactly, and you have to have everything. He's the guy, like you said, if he needs that little push, okay, I got you. And yes, Christopher, you're right. We're going to get to that. BA is still impacting the team. And that's something that Gruden could not do. And I appreciate everything Gruden did for that Super Bowl run. But look, 2005 was the last time that we saw a dominant Bucs team. People say, well, AJ, the Bucs went in 2007. Yes, but we got there through grace. Let's just be real. But 2005 was honestly the end of Gruden actually being a competent coach, because the team started to dissolve by then. 2005 was the last time the Bucs were the number one defense. Yes. So he was still living off of a Dungy team. And like you said, he couldn't. One thing that Gruden I always saw, he's not a builder. He is the guy that you put there when it's all set. And look, and him and the Bruce Allen, they had differences. They didn't draft a quarterback. They were all over the place. So unfortunately, that's why when Monty Kiffin was gone, our death, the Bucs' death of the end of a great uh, proud era died in North Carolina when Jerome Stewart was out here stiff arming poor Rondé Barber and D'Angelo Williams was running all over the field, and that's when we died. That's when the Bucs just that era was gone, and it took us all the way until. And yes, Christopher Cole, you're right. Gruden and Allen set us back for years because they had disagreements. So that's why it was it's where we were. But this is why I'm happy for this guy right here, Slick. This man right here, Arians with the Kango hats and the drinking and the your ass ain't going nowhere. I love it.
He's a fan favorite.
Because,
He was hard. He was hard, but he was fair and he was likable.
and he brung this because a lot of people thought, oh, we got to go. The Bucs need to get a Sean McVay. Here's the thing, guys. You can't always get those anomaly coaches that have those 1 year wonders or a couple years. That's why they are special. Arians is the guy that had heart and that was would play coach of the year under the Arizona Cardinals. And mind you, this guy came back. He put his health on the line. If that's not sacrifice, I don't know what it is. Arians' impact. If you don't think Arians' impact helped Tom Brady, I don't. You guys, y'all don't know football. They still had to work together. They both compromised. Do you not realize Arians, in a way, got Brady out of his comfort zone when it came to being more of a gunslinger and taking those risks and throwing down the field? That's why Slick said in 2021 we were offensive. We were offensive juggernaut, dangerous people. You guys know Brady's mentality. Brady has always been more of the short passes to set up the deep passes. With Arians, he said, "You got an arm." Remember, people thought Brady had no arm anymore, and Brady's like, "Oh no, I still got an arm. Oh, I got the right coach to throw it to me." And again, his impact is so heavy. Look at what he's doing for Bowles. Look at what he's done for other coaches. Look, and it's still continuing, guys. Arians' presence is still with this Bucs team, just like Brady's mentality of don't take no shit, win and go hard on it. Go hard is still there. So that's why we said it. Arians is the best. He had the biggest impact because it's still going to this day, and we're only getting better. With Gruden, we had too many ups and downs, guys. Our last year with Gruden in 2008, we lost. We were 9-3, Slick. 9-3. 9-3. Literally, maybe win one more game, and you're in there because the division was bad. Or 2 games, you're in there. We collapsed. It's like we collapsed. And again, because of Monty Kiffin wanting to go back and help his son at Tennessee, it messed it up. That's where a coach comes in and saves the team and says, guys, I know Monty's leaving, but I'm here for you. That didn't happen, Slick. That didn't happen for us. And we fell into the lost twilight years. You know, we basically were a bad horror movie. So now Arians comes back in, old man, saying, look, I'm gonna put my health on the line and I'm gonna get us there. And what did he do? And you said it. Yeah, people will say, oh, well, he had Brady, but it would have been worse if he would have lost. Just because you have great players, unless you bring it out of them, it doesn't mean shit. So Arians brung the winning mentality that is still carrying on. Your Buccaneers.
Here's a little question for you, and maybe this could ruffle some feathers. In 2005, the Buccaneers could have let go someone like a Monty Kiffin and go for a future guy who's already on the staff in Mike Tomlin as their defensive coordinator.
Yep. Oh, we know.
And then potentially progress him to being their head coach when Gruden was ready to step away, or they wanted him to step away, and he would have had one of the better modern coaches in football.
The Bucs would be hell, history would be different.
There's a lot of loyalty, a lot of Bucks loyalty to Coach Monty Kiffin, and I understand and get it, but there's also progression.
Yeah, there's always
Because
progression.
the fact that he retired by 2000, like was it 2008? You said.
Oh well, yeah. By 2008, Gruden got fired because
Mm-hmm.
that team collapsed. That was one of the biggest collapses ever. But that team and the Jets. How do you
Mm.
go slick 9-3? Literally, in a way, you can coast if you really want to. Win one. All you got to do is say, guys, just get us 2 games. 2 games. We can lose the rest, and we're in the playoffs. That was actually the last time that the Bucs looked like they could have been a playoff threat team. After that, we went to shit. And as you see, when Gruden got fired, Gruden's record shows you why he doesn't. When he goes places, if they're not built, he doesn't do anything. Arians knows how to go in and build places. Look what he did. That's why he is the QB whisperer. You got the QB whisperer and you got Chucky. Which coach you gonna want to be in your you want to have on your team? He made the damn Cardinals a respectable business. Meanwhile, Gruden out here sending nasty emails about people and shit, saying some of the most egregious things. And now we got to talk about him possibly getting back in the Ring of Honor.
Would you want him back, or do you think that ship sailed?
It's just so much. If we're talking about from just football, you can't take away again what Gruden did for this franchise. If
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't
I
for
mean, he's got a statue outside the building. You don't need to.
yeah. So in a way, if we're gonna keep this football, you can do that. I'm not saying his emails weren't bad, but there are a lot more egregious things that he could have done that would have been like, okay, we don't want to have nothing to do with him. In a way, that was that man's opinion about certain shit. So at that point, if you don't want him to come to the games, that's fine, but at least acknowledge what he's done, guys. He is again, Gruden is the reason why your Buccaneers won their first Super Bowl. One
Yeah,
of the biggest reasons.
that will never be taken away from him. We're not talking about him like he's a trash coach that you couldn't coach football. What
Yeah,
we're saying is the only reason he sucks compared to Bruce Arians is because Bruce Arians helped build a squad. Like it was not, and yeah, he got some imports. He got some help from Tom Brady bringing his buddy back and bit of AB. You can make that argument, but at the same time, this team has always been competitive. The moment he set foot in that building, he
mm-hmm.
changed the look of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Defensively, he brought in Todd Bowles, who would eventually become our head coach, and we are now hunting for our fourth straight division championship. We've had a Super Bowl. You know, he had his super amazing season. Then he decided, you know what, I've had enough. I'm going to hand the reins off to Coach Bowles, and we had a losing season the first year, but we still won the division. Not something that should be trifled with. And then this year, won the division, won a playoff game, ran another team close.
Exactly, and
Building blocks.
we're only going to get better, guys, because again, like in a way, Eric Bowles is damn near adapting the Bruce Arians mindset. You do your job on offense, I'll do my job on defense. And again, guys, I'm excited for this coordinator. I know people are like, AJ, you're putting a lot of stock in this coordinator because he's fresh, he's new. And will it take the offense to get to gel? Yes.
But he's also been around pro football, so that's the beauty of it. You've got a guy with the college brain, who's done college coordinating, but he's also been, I think, a quarterbacks coach for the Rams.
Yep. He's
Worked
also
with someone like Stafford, so
yeah.
he he knows his stuff, and that means he's not just going to be. You know, when they get a guy who's pure college, sometimes that shit don't work.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't work.
They need to do something in the NFL for them to understand that their college principles, what college principles will work and what won't. When they when they come over here and they go from being a head coach in college to a head coach in pro, it doesn't work because they think they got it all mapped out. And you can get away with more. You can get away with so much more in college. Like you can get away with just running air raid or power raid, and that's it done. You
Yep.
know.
And also I want to give the shout out to Chris because you on a roll, man. Look, Christopher, you need to get on one of these videos with us. You are exactly right. Gruden like to build through free agency. That shit don't always work. For them, a lot of times it won't work. You can only build through free agency when your draft is solid. The Bucs did that. We
You can't,
drafted
and you can't build
players.
through. You can't build through free agency. It just costs too much money.
It costs too much money, and that's still a gamble as well. Yes, oh, we got this guy. Okay, yeah, but he's 20. He's 31. He might give you 1 year, and we're not even built to win a fucking Super Bowl. So you just wasted like $11 million of our salary cap.
And he's
Again,
not going to be here, so we're back in square one again,
we're
and we're not
back.
going to find that same guy.
You just again, guys, go. Slick said it. That 2019 and 2020 draft, that was something special. We might not. I'm hoping we can get that. This and it's still going because
And the
last year's
2021 draft as well, you can argue into that as well because not Gruden, sorry, Arians was still the head coach at that point in time.
exactly, and then this previous draft with Yaya and Canty, bam, and Palmer. So you got three legit guys where it's like there's a lot of people slicking. You know, there's a lot of teams that's like shit. We only got this one guy was average and the rest of them was ass. The Bucs have learned that. Go back to 2016. That was a
Here's one I'll get for you. How much do you think Bruce Arians was involved in getting Baker Mayfield to Tampa?
I think a lot. I think a lot more than what people are ever going to. We'll know until later on down the line.
Oh yeah. I just because he likes that kind of mentality in his quarterback.
Yeah, he wants.
He looks like a Bruce Arians quarterback.
Yeah, he's
gutsy enough, big arm, tough, can use his legs. He is a Bruce Arians quarterback.
He's a Bruce Arians quarterback, and this is why you know me, Slick. You know, two things I need on this offense: the spread, and my favorite thing, them fucking crossing routes.
Yeah.
Boy, them crossing routes. Let me tell you something. With the speed that we got, look, don't let me get two receivers that can run a 4.3. They'll be like, oh, but they don't have hands. They might not have to. Your linebackers ain't keeping up with that shit across the field. And then I love the crossing routes because it's going to set up the run too, because now your punk ass linebackers, they're going to have to back up and respect it. Shit. All right, now run through them HB draws. Look, I'm telling you now. But anywho, yes, the Buccaneers are going to be, they're better off with Arians cementing this. And again, let's just say this: if Bowles wins a Super, let's go on the limb and say Bowles fucks around and win the Bucs Super Bowl. That also cements not only Bowles' legacy, but also bolsters Arians, because that was his, you know,
that was his protege. That was what he groomed. Yeah, absolutely. That's from his coaching.
Like, look, I got you, man. This is what we're doing. And now that, man, look, I'm telling you guys, Arians was it. Now, we can argue because, yes, if you want to say the godfather and the personal favorite, like, of your coaching, it's going to be Dungy for me, Slay, just because he is the reason why he brought us out of the shadows. We had no idea, no respect. He made the Bucs so respectable that people wanted to invest in this organization. Without and then again, the Tampa 2 is something that is just, it's an iconic defense. I love the fact that it's Tampa 2, cover 2, damn that, no, it's the Tampa 2. We don't say cover 2, Tampa 2. And that is because of Dungy. So if you want to say my personal favorite is Dungy, I'll never dismiss Dungy. I love him. But if I want to say right now the best coach the Bucs ever had, you got to go with Arians. You have to. I'm so confident that this Bucs 2020 Super Bowl team would beat the 2002 team. That's yeah, I said it. Why? Brady, of course, he's gonna find a way. And offensively, I love Rondé. You know I do, y'all. I don't think Rondé is handling Mike Evans. Brian Kelly and Godwin, that would be a battle that I would love to see. But here's the X factor. Gronk and his blocking, our line would be overwhelming. Gronk would be the X factor because, yes, I do think I would have loved to see Jensen and Sapp like fight it out. And I think eventually Sapp would win it. But Gronk would be so good at blocking, it would help. It would give the Bucs offense an edge, in my opinion. The 2020 Bucs, I'm not saying they would blow the 2002 Bucs off, but I'd say they'd beat them at least by 10 to 13 points.
Wow, there you go. Right, brother. I'm gonna have to go because I've got work in the morning.
You too, man. Look, guys, again, thank you for tuning in on Bucs Report, the aftermath on 102.9 Game Broad Street South Radio. As always, guys, check us out, AJ Turn Up. You can always check me out on my personal page. It's about bucking time right there. Yeah, that's just menacing like me. But yes, and then also let's give a congratulations to Coach Slick for being the number one coach and team in his division. And do y'all have like a Super Bowl type of championship?
Yeah, we have what's called Brit Bowl.
Speaking in existence, you're going to be hoisting that trophy.
Hopefully so. We got to go all the way to September there, but yeah, we got 2 more games to go. We got Lancashire Wolverines again, and then we play Surge for the final game of the season. We have 2 weeks off, and then we're hitting playoffs, and we'll see what shakes up.
Handle your business, and as always, my man, go Bucs.
Go Bucs.
Go Bucs, brother.
Catch you soon, brother. Hey guys, that's the end of the show. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Obviously, talk is a little bit slower than normal because we are literally looking for things that we want to talk about and we enjoy talking about. But of course, the Buccaneers aren't doing a heck of a lot right now because they're going to start getting ready for their camps. Soon we'll be talking about preseason camps. We'll be talking about the camp battles. We'll be talking about preseason games. We'll be talking about what we're seeing in practice. And then we'll be talking about the real shebang, which is the bread and butter, the meat and potatoes of the season that is the regular season. And then hopefully we'll see the Buccaneers back into the postseason. But for now, have yourselves a good night. Enjoy your day off. I'll catch you soon. Coach Slick out.